Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Dual Hearts. Today we enter the old man's dream for the first time, and that's gross. We've got a snowman belching ice at us at just the start. The game this time isn't showing us any treasure we can't reach. They're just dropping us off at Santa's house, apparently. Nice place he's got there. No elves. Creepy little, like, jack-o'-lantern face on the door. Not sure what's up with that. Let's say hi. Of course he's actually Santa Claus. Let's see what the reindeer has to say. He's got Rudolph, but I don't see the other 8. Of course he's freaking out about the hat. Never mind that he's basically destroying a holiday the entire world revolves around, presumably, just like it does, you know, in America. Such a tragedy. Keep in mind, you know, we have no idea still if the guy actually is Santa Claus, just the reindeer in his head says so I guess we assume we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. But of course, presumably we can get something out of this, so I guess Stompy, as the consummate treasure hunter, is going to go look for Santa's hat inside his own brain. What the heck is this? Looks like a chimney, but we can't actually do anything in here. Turns out this is the warp pad for this area, but you'll never actually see the second one until after you've beaten the boss, so I honestly had no idea what was going on there. It's Messamons, little plants look like Christmas trees, which is absolutely adorable. Yeah. So obviously you can see the cracked wall here. They're incredibly obvious in this game for the most part, unlike Zelda games where you might actually have to, like, hunt for them or poke the walls listening for hollow noise. Nope, in this case they're all basically the outline of a door, cracks in the wall. Oh man. I have lightning on my draw card. This is the worst element to have here. As we fight these evil mutant Santa Claus. Ow. Face. Man, this thing apparently has an attack range that's just barely longer than my sword, so ow. Jeez, ow. Okay. There we go, we got him this time. These little evil Santa Clauses morph into evil elves. They get kind of a dual evil Christmas thing going on. They go down pretty quickly though. So again, we need fire Essamons for our draw card, and of course the game is not complying at all. There we go. Get it? This is one of the first levels where having a fire draw card is actually incredibly useful in combat in addition to solving puzzles. Since basically every enemy here is ice themed, having the draw card to complement the combo attack of your melee weapon is absurdly useful. And I'm basically going to carry the fire draw card in every scenario where I'm not using the bomb. And of course, since this is the first level we completed after we got the bomb, we'll have to use the bomb a lot. But, you know, what are you gonna do? A snowman sounds fun. I think we saw that guy on the way in. He's a bad snowman. Well, so much for that. It's probably a Frosty joke to be made here, but, you know. It's really easy to get lost in this area, because there's exactly 4 paths that all look, excuse me, 3 paths that all look identical, leading from this one little clearing. Since the camera's not very cooperative, get turned around a lot. Hey look, wreath enemies. This game really goes to town with the Christmas theme. Note, as I said before, that when you strike the enemies with the draw card with the corresponding element that they're weak to, they get stunned for a really long time. It makes most of the combat in this area pretty easy, and as it so happens, this area has one of the highest enemy respawn rates in the entire game, in addition to having a high enemy density, with a really obvious sequence of weaknesses. So this is actually the best place in the game to grind if I chose to get my weapons up to level 4 pretty quickly, and I will be back here if they aren't at level 4 before some of the game's primary combat challenges. Anyway, moving around. We're looking for 3 sheep children. Why not? And this is sort of in stark contrast to the rest of the game, because up until now the sheeps have had no problems finding us when they really need to. I guess we can repay the favor for all those tutorials we've been forced to watch. Hey, a snowball. And a shoot. Gee, I wonder what I have to do here. Not that, apparently. Check this out. Sheep's frozen in the block of ice. He's already telling me what to do. I haven't even freed him yet. So yeah, this snowball will keep coming down. You have to roll it around a little bit before it's big enough to actually save the sheep. So let's take care of that. Bumble, of course, still doesn't help. You'd think that he would be having a lot of fun, like in this Christmas-themed area, you know, with presents and Christmas trees and snowballs and wreaths and I don't know. Yay! We actually have to go down and talk to the sheep to tell him where his mom is. The snowball, don't really need that. It's another one of those sequence of switches that we saw first in Yuri's Dream, and in this case it's actually really easy to see what the answer is. As opposed to Yuri's Dream, where we had to sort of negotiate the camera very carefully. Green, blue, yellow. Hey, an igloo. Let's go there later. Our reward is a hat. This is useful. I need this. Well, I mean, the game gave us a collectible counter for it, so of course we need at least one of them. Probably at least one more. I don't know why. Meanwhile, let's talk to the sheep. Let's take the direct path. I like how I tried to line up this jump and then just dived off the side anyway. It's not like it mattered. Hello! First part of the game where we get to tell sheep what to do. Yeah, each of the 3 sheep when you find them gives you a piece of dream energy. Considering that this is the last level before you need to pass the 10 dream energy marker, technically, although obviously we opened that one up quite a long time ago, the game sort of hands you a few extra just in case you haven't been bothering to investigate the levels very carefully. Pick up some rings, I don't know why those are out there. Hey look, a switch. There's a decent chance we'll have to use, you know, the bomb to hit this switch, and the tip sort of gives us a small hint of the fact that we need a holy instrument. Not hard to figure out what we need, considering we only have 4, and 2 of them just hit the switch, which we can already rule out. One of them we can't use as an item. So yeah, that gives us the bridge to the igloo that we saw while we were solving the switch puzzle. We'll leave the bomb there for later. This is actually kind of annoying because it means we have to use a weapon and the bomb if we want to actually attack enemies, and have to take the fire draw card out, since now we have to choose between not being able to solve the bomb puzzle or not being able to gain experience points for our weapons. But I guess I'll just have to deal with that. More wreaths. More speed bumps, basically, on the path to victory. They don't even have a projectile attack. At least the Santa guys beat me over the head with their sacks and threw snowballs at me. Alright, well, I guess we'll abandon Plan A and open up this little cracked wall here, since I don't believe we were heading towards the actual igloo anyway. I kind of get lost very easily in this level. Hey look, a sheep! Open this up. You can actually hear the puzzle failed noise from the bridge disappearing while this cutscene is going on, as we've rescued now the 2nd sheep child. Dream energy! We're all full up on dream energy. Hey, rings. I need those. Nothing in there? Nope. Oh boy. And more enemies. Hey, penguins, let's go fight those guys. These guys can spin, their flippers actually shield them from attacks, which is pretty aggravating. And those icicles, even though I can bash them with my spear and break them, do 1 health point of damage just by touching them, which is really aggravating if you're on Bumble trying to sort of run around or dashing or whatever. Hey look, a hat. Of course there's more than 1 hat, that's why we have a counter. Let's say hi to the sheep family. Do we have to find the 3rd sheep? Apparently we do, nothing happens here. Let's go back to that switch and actually get to the igloo this time. Like, bomb, moving on. No reason to fight you anymore. We're actually pretty close to getting to level 3 with the spear, but when we actually do that, I'll point out why it's not really as useful as you would think. We also are still missing 1 hat, spoiler alert, 3 sheep, 3 hats. Shocking, I know. So yeah, we take a point of damage from running into the icicle. We can get our revenge, though, with stabby death. Hey, a black Essamon. Great. Oh boy, been waiting a while to do this. Punt. Come on, give me something good. Give me something good. Attack up. There's no enemies around here. That's not useful at all. Can't wait to kick you the next time. Anyway, here we are, back at the igloo. That bomb we placed all that time ago finally comes into use on the 3rd try, since I kind of screwed this up the first couple times. Something's attacking us, I have no idea what. There's always something attacking you on this level. It's not very Christmassy, I tell you. Anyway, in case you couldn't guess, this is where the last sheep is, since it's the last place we haven't been to in this level. He's yelling at us. Poor communication kills. Sheeps are always making a fuss. Ugh. Frickin' sheep. Aw. That's such a tragedy. They're also incredibly creepy. They have the same lips the jelly drops do. I'm not sure why these guys are threatening and how they managed to beat up a sheep who's actually bigger than them, but you know, whatever. The important thing is, it's combat time. These guys actually, as Bumble said, get on his back and drain his Esamons, which sounds like a problem, but it also sort of dispatches one of them while he's on top of Bumble, sort of stopping him from really threatening us unless we get really close. So we can take our time dispatching the first one, and then knock the second one off his back, which is actually pretty difficult to do, except I have the draw card out, which most enemies in theory are pretty weak to. We lost a lot of Esamons from that, but there's plenty of Christmas trees here to refill. Pick up our third piece of Dream Energy, rescue our third sheep, and after this we'll cut back to the sheep family now that we finished that particular objective. It's definitely a failure of the if you're lost, stay where you are plan, because all 4 of the sheep never went out looking for one another. Of course he's nice, he just left us in a cage with a bunch of monsters. I guess that makes him nice by sheep standards, at least compared to the number of data points we have so far in this game. Let's say hi. Yep, all 3. I'm surprised we didn't get an inventory counter for the sheep. A reward is an extra gold Esamon, not that it matters at all in the story. It's awfully nice of her, though. And of course, Stompy, having chronic hero syndrome, has already gone out of his way to solve their problem in anticipation of having to do it anyway. This is definitely going to work. Their plan is to set their head on fire and charge the blizzard. So, you know, let's indulge them. Actually, first let's check out what happens when we try to go in here. No, we cannot enter. Which is odd, but, you know, whatever. Doesn't seem that threatening of a blizzard. Meanwhile, fire, 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 fire. Charge! I like how they look like military helmets. Man, I get so excited. This is definitely the advice my mother gave me anytime I was stuck in the blizzard. To light my hat on fire and charge blindly inside. But it worked, somehow, which is definitely at least the 3rd or 4th least plausible thing that's happened in this game so far. Anyway, inside the snowman's mouth, second half of the level. There actually is a snowman to fight, which we'll get to at the end. But first, we apparently have to trek through a larger snowman. Check out, that wall has eyes. See if they can block my spear. Ew. I think this is the first level where we actually see... Oh wow, you can't hit that guy while he's sucking up Esamons. That's weird. I never noticed that. Yeah, this is what I was talking about when I said he can actually attack you. Anyway. Spear is level 3. Not useful because, as it turns out, the 3rd hit in the combo is actually done by the weapon in your offhand, and it only works if the weapon in your offhand is level 3. So since the only weapon we have at level 3 is a spear, we can't actually use the combo attack. And frankly, most of the time we don't have the sword in our offhand either. So even if I did have both in level 3, it would be pretty hard for me to find a situation where it would actually be useful to use that combo. Anyway, let's talk to this wall. Check out that huge mouth. You need to hit fish inside. Because the wall is hungry, I guess, maybe, I don't know. We also need this sword to do this, although let's check out and see if we can... No, we cannot blow another hole in the cracked ice. Put the sword on. Yeah, 100 points to get the spear up to level 4, that'll take a while. Anyway, let's speed this up because it takes forever. First off, I got the angle wrong for a while. It's surprisingly difficult to do considering how gigantic the guy's mouth is. There we go. 1, 2, 3. In case you were ever curious what it looks like when a block of ice dies from pleasure, I guess that was it. That was extremely weird. Extremely weird, even by the standards of this level. So many enemies. At this point, refilling my health off of Bumble's tummy became almost reflex. I do it a lot, just because the enemies are mostly non-threatening and do so little damage by comparison. There's another block of ice, but we can't actually access the fish in this area because of this big stone in the way. One of those objects that we don't have the tool to deal with yet. You can even see treasure behind it. It's so mean of them. We're an awfully long way from being able to access that, but I will obviously be back here. Moving on. Kind of curious why the block of ice let the sheep in, but not us. I mean, the sheep's heads were on fire, but we have the fire draw card. You think you could just use that? I guess not. Hey, more stuff. But first, combat. Kind of look like the black mages from Final Fantasy. They have the blue hood. Oh man, check out that sucking noise that guy's making. It's so gross. Vulnerable wall, dream energy, blah blah blah. You can see this very, very light lack of friction in the ice. We do slide a little bit when we try to move, specifically in this level. I don't even care that he's sucking up the SMOs. We don't have any tummy points to refill. At this point, I think I got sick of fighting these guys. There we go. I started using the sword charge attack to knock them away while I dealt with them one by one. So yeah, the jelly drops will actually try to flatten themselves and fall on you, which is incredibly creepy when it happens off camera. But it also makes them very easy to kill because then they're right there on the ground. It's very difficult to hit them without using the draw card or any of the projectile weapons, using just your melee. Anyway, here we go, another block of ice. This is where I finally figured out that the bomb does not do damage to you and I can just use it while I'm standing on top of it. This guy's a little bit more particular. He wants just red fish and half the fish are blue. So guess what? It's time to go high speed again. Take care of this once more. Blue, 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 red. There we go. One fish. Two fish. Red fish. There's a blue fish somewhere, but you know, whatever. The important thing is this guy's had enough. All done. I don't know why it couldn't have been like something you had to feed that could charge up and break through the wall, or maybe something sitting in the way like a walrus or a bear or something you had to feed. Of course it had to be an ice block that looks insanely weird. Maybe ice blocks are just really easy to program or model. Yep, damage from the ice skull. Some of these have items in them, I just couldn't figure out which ones on my first trip through this area. We'll be revisiting this stage later. It actually changes considerably now that the blizzard is over after we beat the boss. And we'll pick up those items then. Hey look, an ice wall. I wonder what's behind here. Gold SMO. Getting awfully close to 500 rings, which is the first threshold to trade them in for an item. But we won't be able to do that on this trip through this level. Let's just see what happens here, just so I know what to target for, or what to run at after I put the bomb down the first time. Or I should say the last time when I go to solve the puzzle. Yes, 10 seconds to get in that door. You can actually probably make it without using the remote bomb, but it's going to be pretty tight. There's the boss tip, can be damaged by an explosion. I don't know why it's not by the boss door. Let's do this correctly. Bug. Moving on. Oh, for some reason the cutscene made the bomb go away. That's weird. Rings! Oh, missed the mount there. Ow. Probably should have thought about that before I went charging into the giant snowball. Oh well, hindsight's 20/20. Check it out, he's doing the thing where he bounces in his nose again. It's my favorite animation. We don't really need him in this case. It's pretty easy to make it into the little alcoves without his assistance. Of course, he just teleports straight through the snowball, so it doesn't even matter. Anyway, in we go. It's time to fight the boss. We're at 19 minutes already, so I'll do that tomorrow on the next episode of Let's Play Dual Hearts. I will see you then.